guys, it's time for another trip. Going with my buddy Jason. He's taking his awesome Triumph. I'm taking the FZ09, and we're going up to the mountains for a week. Morning.
Morning.
All right, loaded up. Got everything tied down. I don't have any rear pegs or brackets, so I just went down here into the frame tubes. Worked out well. Front just to the front, off center of his, so we don't bump paint. Should be good to go. Got all the supplies in the car. We get an awesome tow ride up there. Should be about a 9-hour ride. All right, so get a load of this. How many of you would tow your bike like this? Now, mind you, that's a shaft-driven motorcycle. That cannot be good. Finally, the first sighting of Foothill Mountains. Woohoo! Almost to the Georgia-North Carolina border. Got another half hour to go or so, and then another half hour to reach our destination. Nice little cabin. Got a nice winding road up to the cabin here, wherever it is. Getting close. Alright, should be that one right there. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Sweet. Okay, so we're in. We're just unloading here. I'll run you through a little tour. Haven't really checked everything out yet, but man, so far so good. This ran us about, I think, $580 or something like that, 600-ish for the week. That's including all fees and taxes and all that, so really good deal. So plenty of space out here to park. We've got the trailer just back out of the way in the corner, and we've got plenty of room here to run the bikes in and out. We're gonna park them under here every night, so they're nice and dry in the mornings. Beautiful mountain view, obviously, and a deck and a barbecue. Got outdoor seating, and they said there's an umbrella and more stuff underneath the deck if we want that. Plenty of space, and it wraps around. Very nice. It's more spacious inside than I was expecting. Really nice lighting too. Big eating area, and a really well stocked kitchen if you're into cooking. So I'm gonna be cooking tonight. Got pots and pans and all kinds of stuff filled up. Got a really cozy living room here. Plenty of room, and it's not cramped. You could easily have 4 or 5 people in here, although you would have to be sharing a bedroom if you do that. So we've got another little eating area here. Entertainment center, GameCube, kid friendly. Do not adjust. No problem, because it's actually perfect in here. It's about 70. So this is bedroom 1. This is Jason's. Got a twin size bed here. Queen there, another twin over there. Plenty of room to sleep in, you know. It's got more room than a cruise ship, let me put it that way. And then around here is the slightly smaller room with just one bed. I'm going to take this one. Plenty of room though. We got plenty of dresser, closet, and a generous bathroom. Nice walk-in shower. And that's it. So this will do. We're gonna go run into town, get supplies, get food, and come back here and relax, have some cigars, and chill out, because that was a long drive. Good morning, guys. We are about to set out. We just spent a whole bunch of time setting up our 30Ks. We're actually using Bluetooth instead of mesh because, you know what, there are some limitations that I just don't like. I'll talk about that later. We've got our routes put in. We're going to do a warm-up route. He's never been through the Smoky Mountain National Park, so we're going to head up and over that, just turn around in Gatlinburg. And that's a good warm-up day, and tomorrow we'll probably do the Dragon. We're going to do the Cherrahala. We're going to do a couple different loops and local roads. We're going to go over to the Biltmore in Asheville, the Blueridge, whole bunch of cool stuff. So it's just after 9 in the morning. Absolutely gorgeous day here, and we're going to head out.
Oh, are you serious? Stand by.
Okay, so plan B. Luckily, it's a nice, slow, easy day. We got plenty of time. Got it on tender, which Jason was smart enough to bring. We tried it first directly jumping and nothing, so that thing was flat, wasn't even going through the cells. So then we hooked up the charger, and we were using the AC inverter in the truck, and then I found an outlet close enough that we can just pull it up here, and it's charging. It's only a 0.8 amp charger, so it'll take a while, but it's good enough to tell us, if it's charging, and it is, so that's a good sign. Still not sure why it went flat. He rode it up on the trailer, didn't leave a light on, and there's no power draining accessories. So worst case scenario, it's a damaged battery and we just have to go find another one, but won't know that for at least another half hour to get some juice in here and see if it even tries to start.
All right, round 2. Make sure I can start. Yay! Fire up music. Fire up my navigation. We're going to do the park out. Yep, resume. Okay. Area A-okay. Should I go off-roading? Might be fun. And we're off. Still running? One thing that's weird about these riding pants is the armor in the knees touches the tank, so it feels totally different than jeans. Hello, curves. I'm just going to take it easy. His Triumph, we're going to put some better brakes on it. Let me put it that way. He already completely blew past me at the last intersection pulling onto the Blueridge. We had to do a little U-turn. And it wasn't like an emergency U-turn or anything, but his rear tire was locking up and he just went whoop, right on by. Luckily there was room, so we know where the limit is, but we're just going to have a relaxing vacation, have some fun. Oh, so the Cena. Okay, so the last time I'd used mesh was during testing, and that was well over a year ago, maybe 2. I don't know, whenever they fixed the last major issue they had. Anyway, he's got a 30K, so we fired him up. We went through pairing and all that. Number 1, pairing and creating the mesh network through the phone app does not work correctly. It would not automatically repair us when we turn the devices off and back on again. But if we did it through the device, holding the button down, creating the mesh network, and even then I had to reset mine a couple times in order for him to accept the invitation or for me to accept him as the request. It just doesn't work as it's supposed to, as it says in the manual. But here's the big thing. The mesh quality is, right now at least, on whatever firmware they have. I'm on 2.0. Now, I will qualify this. There is a 2.1 out right now, and I just saw it when we were pairing this morning in the app. I have not updated to it. We have really crappy internet, and I just didn't feel like pulling out my computer this morning to update it, because you still can't update the firmware through the app, which is ridiculous. You can do it with GoPros and everything else, but not Cena. You gotta plug it into your freaking computer and use a separate program just to flash your firmware. Anyway, I'm not on 2.1, so I'll test that tomorrow, and hopefully it fixes that pairing problem and this problem. The mesh quality is not as good now as the Bluetooth. Number 1, it cuts off the first letter or so of whatever the person is saying. So if I said like, hey, how's it going? It would cut out the H, and all you would hear on the other end is A. It's just funky. But on Bluetooth, it's like it's squelching the mesh too much. I have no idea why, but it's really annoying. And just the plain vocal quality is better on Bluetooth. It's a little more high fidelity. There's no difference in noise. Both of them are completely silent. There's no popping or static or anything, but the Bluetooth just sounds clearer. And we're not, you know, spreading out or anything, so we don't have the need for miles of coverage. So we're using Bluetooth. Here's the real deal killer though. Sena needs to be able to let the user remap the physical buttons on the device, because when you're riding out here with gloves on, tapping the big side button to turn your mic on or off to initiate communications is perfect, absolutely beautiful, and that's what you do for Bluetooth. Well, for mesh, you don't use that button. Even when you're connected on mesh only, that big button does nothing. You've got this tiny little nub button underneath the antenna for the mesh on top of the unit. You can barely feel it with a bare finger. You cannot feel it at all with a glove. And so you end up putting your finger up there and wedging it underneath the antenna to locate it, and then you're just pressing around and you can't feel if you're pressing it or not. And the other thing is, that's the mic button, by the way. So if you want to communicate with somebody on mesh and turn your mic on or off, like right now I'm talking to you guys and I'm streaming music and I've got my mic off because we don't want the mic just open when we're out riding, or we don't want to hear each other breathing or whatever, or silence if we want to listen to music. That's the downside of Bluetooth, by the way. It still doesn't have the music sharing where it works well on mesh. If you're connected and talking to someone on mesh, the music is still playing and it just lowers the volume automatically if somebody speaks, and when they're not speaking it raises it back up. It's seamless, it works great. But on Bluetooth it's one or the other. So right now I'm listening to music, but if I hit the mic now and our mics are open, music pauses, it completely turns off. So neither one is perfect, both have flaws. But that button up there, it does like 5 different things. It has tap, it has hold for 1 second, it has hold for 3 seconds, it has hold for 5 seconds. Just using the button for anything sucks. You can't feel it at all with the glove on. So I would like to completely eliminate that button, and if you're connected on mesh only, you should be able to remap that to the big side button, because that's the only one that's convenient with gloves on. Beautiful day for a ride through the park. So we stopped in Gatlinburg, grabbed some lunch. I had a bunless burger and a little bit of salad, and then we went shopping real quick and got sweatshirts. Oh, what a difference. It is so comfy now. And of course it's 64 degrees down here on the floor. We're going back up and I'm sure it's in the low 50s, if not 40s again, but I can already feel just so much more comfortable. I was literally shivering for 45 minutes after getting off the bike. My core temp had just dropped. It's probably to do with this keto, because that's never happened before, and you know, upper 40s isn't that cold, especially when we're only doing 35, 40 at the most. Having fun though. So right now I'm routing us back over the mountain to a cycle shop, Waynesville Cycle Center. His Shield, he's got a GT Air, but he doesn't have the pin lock yet, and his Shield was completely fogging over this morning for an hour, and he had to try to ride with it open. Of course it was very windy and cold, and it was just a hot mess. So I told him about the pin lock. So we're gonna go over there, and I'm sure they have one. They're a full sport bike dealer, and they seem to be the only one in the area. So we're gonna stop there before we head on home for the afternoon. I love tunnels.
10 miles into the Blue Ridge. Beautiful views. Really nice weather. A little chilly, but not bad. Great roads.